Okay, Charlie here. I was starting to work on the neurodiversity window and I remembered, oh crud, I'm supposed to be filming that for making a part 2 video for making the background. I've already cut some pieces and I'm using our bandsaw to do this. You'd never do this with a glass cutter. You just can't cut that intricate of shapes. Well, at least not easily with a glass cutter. And so, anyhow, I've cut out the gray piece and I've cut out an Egyptian blue piece. See? And anyway, and so I thought I'd bring y'all along while I cut out the white piece here. Let me see if I've even got this aimed where I'm using a Diamond Elite bandsaw. We don't own a ring saw. And I'm not sure I want a ring saw. This thing throws water everywhere is its only big problem, but it actually, I think, cuts faster and a little more accurately than the ring saws. I don't know that. I've not used a ring saw, so you can see it's dribbling water down out of this little thing right here, which is designed to throw water all over your project. I've glued my pattern onto the glass using a rubber spray adhesive. The water, anything else you use, the water washes your pattern back off. I can't find anything that I really enjoy using with the lines. Gotta put some glasses on, I can't see well enough. And I would normally have a mask on cutting glass and stuff like this, but to be honest with you, I don't really need it here because all the dust is caught up in the water. See, my paper's still coming off, even using the spray adhesive. Okay. And so see, it just kind of rubs off now. And I put it on pretty solidly with that spray adhesive. But that's the most waterproof glue I have found that can be removed back off of the glass. I usually grab my trusty Paper Scraper 2000, which is an approved glass tool. I think I got this at Lowe's or Home Depot. Lowe's, because it's a cobalt. But it works at scraping the paper off. All right. I've kind of cleaned up the glass and got all the paper and the glue off of it and stuff. And I'm going to reshape this a little bit, but I'm also going to cut these into pieces. And I don't know, I've stuck them together with double-sided tape, so this may be a disaster on getting apart, but I'm trying to cut 2 pieces of glass at once here. Okay, let this car get by. So, I'm going for a broken look here. So I am going to see if I can cut it into 3 pieces. I don't really want to put a cut across the face because I think that would look ugly. I may go to 4 pieces here. And then I'm going to put them back together with zippers. And so we'll see if this works. I'm using a paint pen here. These things paint markers tend to work a little better if you're getting it wet than a Sharpie does. I'm not going to tell you they will keep it from coming off, but once they dry, they do tend to hold up to the water for maybe a little bit longer than the Okay, come back in a second when I start assembling them. Okay, so I have taken my cut up pieces of glass and I've pulled them apart from the double-sided tape and put them in some acetone to kind of get all the adhesives off of them. And it seems they're coming pretty clean. And so we don't normally wash our glass in acetone. This bucket, I was hoping the paint in it would wash out with the acetone, but it's not. I'm planning on seeing if I can use it as a closed chamber to make some drawing charcoal. And it still has a little piece of glue on it. This is such an important part of doing glass, is cleaning it. You spend a lot of time cleaning the glass, but if you don't, you get some real funny results when it comes out of the kiln. You know, some of the glues carbonize and they will even leave deposits all over the inside of your kiln and stuff. And, you know, it's not something you probably want to do. They make glues just for gluing stuff that's going into the kiln that will burn off without leaving huge carbon deposits and stuff like that. A lot of fusers just use Elmer's glue, and we've used a lot of Elmer's glue too. The thing about Elmer's glue is it dries incredibly slow for some reason. And I don't know, it dries a little faster and everything. But I've been told that tight bond glue will leave divot marks on your glass. And so the time I used it, there were some a little bit of dullness, but it didn't feel like devitrification or nothing. And so I haven't used tight bond glue since then on that. These rags are our big disappointment rags. We normally buy these little bags of rags from Lowe's, and they're 100% cotton, like t-shirt material. This time they're like pure polyester and stuff, and they're not very absorbent, and they're not all soft and t-shirty material like the old rags were. May look like I'm working in a closed garage with acetone, but I'm not. There's about a foot gap at the bottom, and the wind is blowing, whistling through there, freezing my poor wife's legs and my ankles. But anyway. Okay. Okay, this is plain old water, and the way we usually wash our glass, and I'm going to add some white dots to it because they're part of the project. I need them cleaned off, and I'm going to add some blue dots, and I'm going to have to sort all these back out when I get done without. My really good friend has this cute son who comes over and sometimes helps us. Where's some alcohol?
Right there on the end. It's in square bottles. On the end of the counter behind you.
Okay. And he's really good. Anyway, he's a first grader. He's really good at sorting dots into jars. A lot better than I am. Color blindness has problems sometimes with sorting dots. And so this is just that I'm pouring in there is just 91% isopropyl alcohol, which if you've been working with glass and you have cut yourself, this is a great, I mean phenomenal cut detector. Okay, and so this gets all the fingerprints and finger oils and everything else off. And so at this point, I'm gonna let it set for a second, and I'll unload it, and I'll bring y'all back when I'm over assembling this. I'm just gonna, because we have two small kiln shelves, which are really not all that small. They're like 26 by 13. And then we have one big kiln shelf, which is like 25 inches. And so rather than try to set that whole shelf up here and assemble it up here and then carry the shelf across the shop, I'm just going to assemble it in the kiln and stuff. And so this is going to be fired at full fuse, but I'll get back when I'm assembling. Okay, here's the view down into our kiln. As you can see, we have some leftover kiln paper, which, conservation's sake, I'm just going to use. If I'm real careful and don't move things around, it'll be okay. And so we pretty much fire everything on kiln paper. Our kiln shelves have been kiln washed and everything. And we can probably fire directly on the directly on the shelf. We just don't. Now, I know what everybody's thinking. Those are going to push apart when he fires them, and that's okay, because I'm trying to make a broken-looking human, and I want them to stay as close together as possible, but if they push apart, I'm not going to cry. Okay? Because I am literally just butting these up. And I'm not putting a backer glass under them, because that sound of something hitting the ground was my tweezers. Okay, now here comes the fun part. I've got glass tack gel. Oh, that's way too much. Comes out pretty generously, apparently.
Sorry about that. Yes, it does.
I am not trying to glue these seams together. I shake like a leaf, so about halfway through this, Delilah may have to come to my rescue. It's always nice to have a really good spouse that'll save you when you're doing something harder than what you're capable of. Like getting dressed in the morning. She always fixes my tie if I'm wearing one. Since I've retired, I don't wear ties much. I go up to Odessa College and hang out with my art friends. Okay, now, so what I'm doing here, and okay, that was a total failure.
I need help?
You might. I'm pretty spastic.
Okay.
She just asked me if she needed to help.
I'll be there in just a minute. Sorry. Yeah.
We make these dots when we have leftover kiln space on a full fuse. We just take and cut up a bunch of our scrap that we'll be using for doing other things. And then we just full fuse them and they turn into nice round dots. And the problem is this, and why I know this is going to push apart a little bit, is because the surface tension of molten glass likes to seek about 6 millimeters in thickness. And so I've got 6 millimeters because if you don't have 6 millimeters of glass, it has a tendency to shrink if you've got less than 6 and stretch out if you have more than 6. Some of these Egyptian blue dots are a little bigger. Oh, here's some perfect ones. Now, if everything works out here, you get you some tweezers. Here, I'll give you this stool and you can sit on it and give me a that short stool and we'll both see if we can get. I finally got them going pretty good here.
Okay.
Now, what I hope happens here is the dots kind of fuse down into the white and blue glass and give me kind of a little bit of a zippered effect.
Well, you got an awful lot of glue. Kind of like glue.
My wife is telling me I probably put too much glue. She's the glass artist. I'm a photographer. Could you get
Let me in.
me like a black dot?
Let me look.
Or just red maybe?
Dark gray.
Huh? Dark gray? That'd be perfect. That would match the outside face. I just need a little dot.
On top of them.
Okay.
I'm looking.
What I've done is I've gotten to this point right here. And if I put the next dot of white, I'm going to have white and white. And if I put the next dot blue, I'm going to have blue and blue.
Okay.
So I'm just going to jump ship here and put a different color right in the center. I think it'll give it a, you know, a kind of a focal point right in the middle of the broken face.
Well, I've got a white gray.
That'll work. That's probably the driftwood gray that outside face is made out of. Ooh, that's French vanilla, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, let's... Just give me yellow or red or anything.
Okay. Second.
The background this whole thing goes on is red.
Okay.
I'm talking to the camera.
Here. Black.
I just need one. Actually, dark gray.
Well, it's black.
Okay, how's that right there?
Okay. Is that too big? I've
Nope.
got smaller ones.
Nope.
Okay.
That shake comes from taking years and years of ADHD medication. I was actually part of, way back in the 60s, part of this test group for Ritalin.
Need a white one. White one. No, too big.
I need a blue one because I have white and blue.
Right here, you need a white one.
Well, I have a white and a white. Okay,
Whatever.
I'll put a white. Always should defer to other people on color issues. How does it look?
Okay.
I think I got that one upside down, but
Yeah. Too big.
I don't have any blue ones small enough to... Yeah, I do. See if you can fit this guy. Where'd he go?
No, that's him right there. Okay.
If this black was to swing around just a touch. Yeah, he'd fit in there. I figure these ones that are up close to the edge are going to cause me to have to do a little bit of cold working, but we have a grinder. Okay. And so that's ready to go in the kiln. We're not going to fire it right now today, but and I'll post this program for it. Gonna take it up to a full fuse, but probably not a brutal full fuse, because I don't want to lose like all this detail right in here when it melts off and stuff. And I'm hoping these are not going to crawl. In other words, the white and blue slide off the base. Okay, so now all we got to do is get a rest of the kiln full, ready to go, and this will be another step on the neurodiversity glass for childhood trauma. Okay, so the neurodiversity window that I've been working on with this one is going into the kiln, and there's really not a lot to do other than stack the pieces together, put them on this beautiful background, and then fire them. Now, okay. So the kiln controller says 99. The handheld says 108, which I think is safe for this temperature of the shop. And, ooh, that looks nice. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Dang. Oh, that worked really nice. And there's the neurodiversity window about childhood trauma with the broken inner child and the adult that's just holding back the world's fires from it. And then this came out cool. This is a piece that we're going to cut some other pieces out of, and we wanted to give it like a crystal look. And so it's just clear Tecta, but it has coarse clear irid tack fused, or kind of contour fused. It's real smooth. This is wonderful. I wish you could buy that. I didn't get enough right out in here, but it'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so irid, it's beautiful.
Here, wait just a second. Here, see, here's a picture of my beautiful wife with this. So, anyway, let me see if I can get this to aim right. This ends this video with the new neurodiversity window. Watch, there'll be a lot more of these. This is the end of the second window.
And the beginning of the third.
And the beginning of the third. So this will be a really interesting one. This is one of those that I don't know if enough people recognize this as being a form of trauma, but it is. And anyway, we'll get back to you when we start that window, or that glass. I keep calling them windows, but they're just going to be flat glasses. I'm not slumping them into bowls. I'm not making a set of neurodiversity bowls or nothing like that. And I'll probably come up with some framing system for them, but that's it.